I love you. I love you. Have a kiss from me? There you go. No, you got to calm down. So you got to calm down. You got to calm down. Hey! You make me nervous. You make me nervous. You really do. How is everybody? I'm a little shaken at the moment. It's just the way it is. Every time my mind opens up, and I get really nervous when I don't have a pen with me. Hey, Kayla, how you doing? Hey, Dana, you still here? You're watching me? Does anybody know what I do? Give me a minute to be prepared. I don't have any of these fancy channels. I figure what's fancy in my channel is I'll tell you a story that you've heard before, but you didn't hear it in the in-depth that I associate it. I can talk about chakra if you talk about chakra. I can talk about zodiac if you talk about zodiac. I can talk about a game if you talk about a game, whatever you're going to bring up, if it has to do with the games, the alphabet, 666, 333, 999, 8, monkey, man, any word in the dictionary, the characters, the alphabet, a connection of dots and dashes. Some knew it as Braille. Some knew it as Morse code. Some say it was the counting system of the Mayan. Mention Mayan, mention ancient. Every single word, every single animal that ever existed that is now extinct, I bring it back to life. I give another dimension of the reality that you live today. How is it possible that I can do it? Because I have an equation. I have an equation that was served on to me as it was served on to you. The calculator, the alphabet. The calculator is showing you position of area space of a single dimension of 9. Everybody knows we need 36 inches for a yard. Everybody knows we need 10 yards to make the first down. Everybody knows that in CFL we get 3 downs, in NFL we get 4 downs. One works by 3 times 3, and the other one works as 4 quarters. This one works as 3 parts in order to get the 10 yards, yet it's played in 4 quarters, unlike hockey that is played with 3 periods. And in 3 periods, if you're going to go and find the second period, you're going to find the sine wave, okay, between the 9th minute mark and the 11th minute mark, playing 19 minutes, okay, playing 29 minutes and finishing with 29 minutes with having 2 minutes in between, meaning, and it all has to do, everything can be drawn out in art. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos before or what my apartment was painted into, right? Let me see if I can just show you I'm not at home right now, so if you haven't seen what my apartment is, here's my apartment, right here. And one other piece of my apartment is binary code. For those who've never seen binary code in art before, this is binary code, and it's taken off of this over here. These are tools. These are tools, games we have played fair for the children coming of birth in this creation, for everything that breathes the air, that drinks the water, that goes to sleep and awakens, day after day, living in an untimed cycle and in a time cycle, time by demand. Unlike the animal wing, where the time is not of the demands, but of their own demands, coming into this world, our time is on demand. Because we get up to go to work in the morning, other to note that if I just got up for my vegetables, or just got up for the cows or the chickens in the barn, not to get up by the choice of another human being because that's the job that I didn't choose, but I had no choice. Some of us have a choice, some of us don't. Some of us have the desire, okay, to have lucky to be their dream, and not, they don't call it a dream job, but they call it the, what is that dream? Like, my hobby is my dream. This, what I do, is my dream. If I can get up to this every day, it was only my desire to go forth in my dream, unchosen or put onto me by any other than the power with what I'd like to know is that knowledge. I want to be the best that I can be on understanding the reality in which I perceive before me. The alphabet are characters. They are created, okay, in association with dots and dashes for us to read, for it to be fair. Games in transparency, where I believe the creator, but on purpose or not, okay, had to have memory. And where do you make memory? We're going to create games. We're going to create these games. But who are going to play these games? Well, everybody that I create is going to be me. You're me. I'm you. You created me. I created you. Imagine if you had your own world. Everybody you created was me. It's in a game. Put it in a game. Everybody plays under the rules of that game. All the characters. Now I need all the characters on my team to report back to me. So we all breathe the same air. We all drink the same water. We all evacuate or evacuate. How the ark, the PC, old Mother Hubbard's in the cupboard, the soul, the fire we breathe, whatever you come into the game, the only way to communicate is within the vines of the frequency that we live. And I don't know if I'm choosing the proper words, but I'm quite sure most will understand. Evil or good, everybody must run the same system. We also have in this game, I like to look at this game as being computer-like. There's so much, now I don't know all the terminology, but there's only so much RAM. The ram is the first zodiac sign. Now there's also apparently there's when you delete things, I don't remember, there's a reserve delete this, you can take off the web page, but there's still cookies and all these things. I need to understand more of this so I can understand how the numbers are all moving around. The Lord who created us put after they created, we all the trinity of who we are, we all stay on the same platform. The air we breathe, the earth we stand on, the grounding, right? If I take lightning and I shoot it in the sky, what's it going to hit, right? Will it hit Eve? The rib of Adam passed on to Eve. Is it the lightning bolt in the sky? Listen to it. Lightning. It's saying 10, 9. A, B, C, D equals to 10. B, C, D, okay, equals to 9. A, B, C equals to 6. It is a rotation of your birth 9 to your 6 light of life. A, B, C, 6. B, C, D, 9. I did not use A when I used D. And I did not use D when I used A. On the seventh day of rest, okay, the capstone or the sea of your creation goes around you. And the day of rest brings you from day 6 through day 7 over to day 8. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to 6 and 8. You're joined over here between 6 and 6. If you're looking at gematria, 8 goes over 66. It connects the two 66s. It connects, okay, the two hexagons. 66 hexagon, 1 8 octagon. 26 is the dog, 2 and 6 8. 24 is the cat, 2 and 4 6. The bird is number 33. The fish is number 42. The fish will divide the gate. Otherwise, it'll be the birth, okay? In between, what is your vibration? So now let me look at this again. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, it's the 7th gate, right? See, within 3 and 6 creation, the base is ABC 6. That's the base creation. When you add 4, you add it onto 10, it becomes the mirror. The 9 birth into the 8th heaven through the 7th gate of 6 and 8. So we enter it right over here. See right over here? And we live between 5 and 9 at that 7th gate between 6 and 8. The lower part of the world is right over here between 1 and 5, our base creation in 2, 3, and 4. We're between 1 and 5. Here's your 2, 3, and 4 this way. Or we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll be 1, 3, 5. In between 1 and the invisible 3. Do you follow what I'm saying? What is in the void still has a 2, 3, and 4. What is here that you can see is a whole 2. Here is some other kind of 2. I don't know how to say it. Or unless there's a further dimension between 1 and 5, right? And they overlap in the background, except we don't see it here. So let's see who is here, who joined us. We can see Elamia 33, let the sun shine in. We can see Donna Caruso 06. We can see Shelly and Mimi and Annie and Jax and user 1 and user 2. But we're still only one. Hey, how's it going? Let's see who's here right now. We have Luna Willow. How are you, Luna? And Luna, I think, is now gone. I don't think anybody stays here too long, eh? Okay, no one ever shows up here. I have to put out, first of all, I need to get myself 101 likes. Oh, there's 4. Let me keep, I just want to like myself. I think I'm just going to like myself until I get to 1,000 likes, and then I'm going to continue on speaking. For those who don't know me, okay, I had my finger on the camera, but if you don't know me, I'm going to explain who you are, who I am, if you're interested. I'm a person like you. I breathe, but I have the desire to understand, okay, about this thing they call rest and peace, about a personal connection with the Creator. Who is this Jesus Christ? What is the Bible? Never mind the Bible. I had the greatest desire to understand ABC 1, 2, 3. Why did they sing ABC 1, 2, 3? Why always Jack? What is it about Jack and John and Jesus? And what about the 12s? Why is a ruler 12 inches? Why is a yardstick 36 inches? Why do they have the hash marks in football? We all know that the hash is something to do with the pound key on the keyboard representing 9. The hash marks in between the 5-yard line and the 10-yard line. They mark it off every time at the 5-yard line. Why is football 6 points for a touchdown? So all these questions I had all through my life. Why? So I went out and I started accomplishing a feat. I started to learn why. By giving everything an extra definition for the vision of my understanding of what it is. Let me see, I'm almost at 1,000 hearts here. And look at that, I'm gonna go to 1,100. And then we're gonna see if anybody else shows up. Although this is almost like talking to myself, it's not. We have one angel that's here right now. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'm going to look for a pen. For some reason, I walked out of the house with 5 pens and a few other things, and it seems like everything is missing, so just give me a minute. Wow, look in here. I got a paintbrush. I got whiteout. I got registration. I got one of these heart pumps. Oh, look what I got. This is lucky. This is lucky. Anybody know what this is? Right? This over here, this is something. This is one of the reasons that there's 8 million people apparently on this planet and more. In fact, anybody who studies astrology will be wanting to know what that is. Anybody who wants to know about Saturn Square might want to know what that is. If you want to know about Lucky 18, Chai 18, you want to know what that is. Should I just talk and share information, make jokes? What should I do? Oh, yes. Let me see what this smells like. Oh, my God. What is happening? What is happening? Do you really know what's happening? We smell. How do we smell? How does this thing, like, but it's doing something to me when I smell. I'm going, oh my God, it feels so good. It's just a smell. Oh yes, and these, my buddies, my buddies. And oh, my color pencils. Oh, my good color pencils. Oh, Pluto. And look, who's this one? What animal is this color? What caricature? We need to remember we are the children of creation. The first thing, one of the primary things, oh, and I still don't have a pen, right? I have all kinds of okay, I got a pen, right? The first thing we started with was the cartoon. So we have tune. Now, what is the T for? The T is the E. 5 and 10 and 15 and 20. Or 5 and 5 and 5 and 5 equals to 20. Or 5 and 5 equals to 10. And 5 and 5 equals to 10. It's A5 and B5 and C5 and D5. That's the equation that I'm building right now. Why do I do that? The star system of numbers shows me. Now I'm missing my next buddy. Hey, buddy. Oh, found him. My friend. Right there. The calculator. The star system base. The star system base is 1 and 9, 10. 2 and 8, 10. 3 and 7, 10. Stop right there before you go any further. Do you love me? Will you love me forever? The reason for this is once we stamp out the next part of the star, we have completed the entire star. When you complete the entire star, now we can start connecting the numbers. Inside this connection, 3, 6, and 4, 5. You see this L over here? Right? There's an L here, 1. There's an L here, 2. Now you move along this entire thing and keep creating the L's, and then there's 1 L over here, there's 1 L over here, there's 1 L over here, and these are all the wings. And inside of this, it will tell you about how 3, 6, and 4, 5 connect together 365.4 days a year. Create the swastika, 11 and 9. 3, 6, 4, 5 are the only dice that tell this story. The story in these, right, is 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5. I'm missing one. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 6, 6, 3, 5, 4, 4, 5. They're all 2 by 2s in their own. The male and the female sex organs. 63 and 54, the son and the student of 77 of the power of Christ. 7 times 7, 7 plus 7 will equal 49, and 14 equals to 63. Minus equals to 35, electric company, or the creation of the E-world, cap to the moon. The moon is number 57. Power or electric, okay? Electric is 75. The moon is 57. The reverse cube of Mars and the Queen. Now I'm going off board. I shouldn't do it. Let me just continue on to this. Every single one of these faces is 9. The base creation of this 9 illuminates from 3 times 6 equals to 18. 1 and 8 is 9. 3 plus 6 equals to 9. It becomes 9 and 9. Jupiter 13. 99 is the biggest number inside the pound key. After that, it becomes $1. Under 99, it is Earth. And after $1, it is Mars. Under 99, you can play hockey where the sine wave of the sun passes through the Earth. Whether you are awake or asleep, this way, you're asleep across the 180 plane. Otherwise, it's an L letter. The L letter here, the L letter here, the L letter here, the L letter here. 4 areas. Only use up 4 areas. How many L's will we get inside of this over here? I should write these down since I'm here. So just give me a second. I'm going to write them down. And just give me a second. Let me go. 1, 4, 7, 8. 4, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9, 6. 8, 9, 6, 3. 9, 6, 3, 2. 6, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, 4. 2, 1, 4, 7. And then 1, 4, 7, 8. So your base of that wing is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's going to be 8 of those wings, on the 9th one we repeat. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the inside wings. Okay, the 8, 5, 2, 1 and 8, 5, 2, 3. There's also going to be the 2, 5, 8, 7 and 2, 5, 8, 9. Then we're going to use the 4, 5, 6, 9 and the 4, 5, 6, 3. And then we're going to use the 6, 5, 4, 1 and the 6, 5, 4, 7. Did I do all of them? Did I do 3, 2, 1? 3, 2, 1, 4? Did I do 1, 2, 3, 6? Did I do everything? Right? There's other things we can do here and create the I and the H letter. That if we connect these two, and I connect these two, I'm going to create the I letter. I'm going to create the I letter in between, but we're not going to get into this. Jacob sent TikTok universe to girl, Lindsay girl. I don't know what that is. How you doing? How you doing, Dick? How you doing? How you doing? How's everybody doing? I'm going to say hi to everybody. Hi to everybody. I'm going to go get myself a glass of water. I'm going to see how many, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are 17. There are 17 times 12 equals to 170 and 34, 204. 204 combinations. I mean, there's 17 combinations, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 17. And this one equals to 15 and 5 is 20. 17 and 11 is 28. 15 and 15 is 30. 17 and 9 is 26. This equals to 20. This one equals to 13, and this one 4, 5. This one equals to 10, and this one equals to 14. I'm going to be with you in a second. This one equals to 20. 3 and 5 is 8, and 8 is 16, and this one's going to be 18. This one's going to be 7 and 8. 7, 7 is 14. This is going to be 22. 7 and 8 is 15, and 9 is 24. And 9, 18. It's going to be 24. 9 and 9 is 18. It's going to be 11 and 5 is 16. It's going to be 11 and 11 is 22. So let me show you the base of this equation. By creating all these L patterns of 4 numbers, we end up with all of these realities that are happening. So I can see inside this one over here, it's going to divide my 7th gate, right? Something to do with the cat, right over here, inside your base 3 creation. But your base 3 creation on the 2nd level is number 7. It becomes 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. And that equation is going to be 6 and 8. Like that. So instead of it being the low side, 2 and 4, it's going to be the high side, and the passing is going to be the 7. So if you look at 6 and 8, the passing is going to be right here between 5 and 9. Your EIEIO coming into the world. There is an extension on this where this goes 10, 11, and 12, and then the boot will go down this way. So you'll go 6, 9, and then over here will be 3, right? And then over here will be 2. 6, 9, 3, 2 instead of 9, 6, 3, 2. We can do it the other way now. It reaches into the 12. Every area uses the closing of an area is 4 rows. It's 12. 4 rows of 3. When we start over again, right? You begin and you end with the same numbers. Your base creation is ABC, but we don't start till over here. The most of the numbers in our Beta House creation, when you're going to the game of roulette and you put a chip down, it's going to tell you odds and how much your payout is per chip. That is going to tell you the story about no, I can't say what it's going to say it about. It's going to be a situation it's going to put you in. That if you put a chip to bet right in the center of a number and it comes in, it's 35 to 1. You are the cap of the moon of electric company 3 and 5. Why do I say this? Let me get some water, and I'm gonna explain to you. 3 and 5. Electric company and moon. I'm going to say hi to Cheryl. How are you? Say hi to JG. How is everybody? Does anybody know what I do? Please ask. I will be happy to tell you exactly or almost exactly what I do. I'm going to get some water. What I do. Never sure where to start. I had a question all my life. It was a simple question. How in the world is everybody paying all this tax? One of my other questions was, got to go to synagogue, got to go to church, got to pray. To who? God. God, the Lord. You don't know his name. Who is this person? Does it even exist? Rest in peace. Life is going to happen again, the resurrection. How are all these magical things ever going to happen? So over time, I learned to understand how computers work, how we basically work, how can it possibly work. And I had a revelation, and I say the revelation because I had a thought. Everything seemed like so much bigger that when I looked at something, it was almost like I was x-raying it. So over time, I just started studying the differences amongst things. And it brought me up to today that when I see the difference, it starts to tell me a story. The differences in letters, what happens when you design letters on square paper, what you could do and what you can't do. Obligations on the paper. Math relationships and obligations through math. Here, it tells me about 4 cats. The reason about this is because a number 4, is a cat in French, right? But a cat is also noted. A cat is also noted, okay, is to be number 6. The numeric value for cat is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, with that said, it tells me in its multiple dimension, the multiplication and the addition is my star system connect. The word cat is going to be represented by number 6. The word dog is number 26. It's going to be represented by 8. There are 4 hexagons inside of here. Each hexagon has a value of 6. One octagon has a value of 8. I have 4 dogs in the pound key. Okay, sorry, I have four dogs in the octagon. Right? Now, when you look at the octagon in reality, there's an extra space over here. That's a 9th area space. When you look at the hashtag, hashtag and star. See, there's only 6. You connect 7 and 3, 10. 1 and 9, 10. 4 and 6, 10. 2 and 8, 10. That is your star system of your wing of A, B, C, D. In A, there are no letters. Nothing begins until you get to B, the house of bait. A is going to proceed and live in the E world, okay? Your A, B, C, you come out over here where A, B, C, D equals to 10, J, JKL, 33 is where it begins, right over here. This is your 4th number, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th number ends over here. 1, okay? You imagine if this was on an angle, this would be a passage. It would be going all the way this way, like that. This comes to play a role in here, and then plays in between here and here and here and here. Okay? Here we have 4 letters, and here we have 4 letters. But if you go to the ATM, 2 of the letters go over here. R in the 7th position and I in the 4th position are the only letters in the 9th house. 7 and 4, G and D like in God. 47 like in time. 4 and 7, 11 to the reverse of 6 and 3, creation, because 1 goes in between 2 to create 3. You take this 6-pack of numbers and these 3 numbers, or you take these 3 numbers and this 6-pack of numbers, or you take this 6-pack of numbers and these 3 numbers, or these 2 6-pack of numbers and these 3 numbers. But when you do it this way, you create what looks like a 10. When you do this one, you create what is 3 different rows, depending on how you put together your numbers. Now, the thing is, in roulette, there's certain bets you're allowed to make and certain bets that are not on the board. Since they're not on the board, they're not in this world. Otherwise, the Lord of creation would have left it in the game. In the game of blackjack, Saturn square, the cube, the hashtag ends up on the football field. How many hash marks do we have before we get to the 5-yard line? right? Let me see a football field, what it looks like, because the Lord has left information in every single game. The characters, which are now understood as the letters in the alphabet, which create words into sentences, and at the end of some sentences and paragraphs, right, is going to be a period, and the period is known as the menstrual station for the 28 days is now going to be connected to the moon. The moon number is number 57. Number 57, 5 and 7 is also 5G. G is noted on the keyboard to have the and sign. The and sign is noted to be in French into English as A, as an ET, or also can be used as DNA. ND is used in the word second inside the house of Bait, where Adam gave a rib by connecting the energy within. Copper Mountain connecting up the moon, right? The silver moon, the copper, the energy, the power connecting into Eve. Eve is inside of what is 7 and 11 at the seventh gate of the cat. The reason I said this is this cube is 7 come 11. This is all. Each one of these are 33 and 21. 2 and 1 is 3. 3 and 3. 3 and 33. In each one of these, there are stories that are being told, because this is the same as this, is the same as Rubik's Cube. One level, different level of looking at it. Here's a flat face, here's a flat face. Now, if I show it to you on paper, right? If I show it to you on paper, I can put in 4 areas, right? I can put in, where's the other one over here? I think I'm on the wrong, oh yes, right over here. Here's 9 areas. Remember, 1 goes into 2 to create 3. So we have 3 here and 6. That's our beginning. Our beginning is 3 and 6. And since this is the star system, it's going to be 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 equals to 18 and 9. The 18th letter is R. The 18th letter is R. The 9th letter is I. They equal to 27. So what we're going to end up seeing is this. 9, 9 equals to 18. 1 and 8 equals to 9. 18 and 9 is 27. 2 and 7 is 9. The house of Bait. Okay, 2 and 7 lives inside what is 1 and 8. 1 is at the heart of everything that goes around it. When you have 2 and 1 come into this world, right, as 3, you're going to have 7 and 8. Your gateway into the heavens, 8, okay, is also known as H. Right? 8 is also known as H. Here is the letter R. You see the letter R right over here? R here, and then R facing it in both worlds. The W is what creates that R to come together this way. The H, which is the 8th letter, is shown to this side and is shown to this side. It's 4 areas, 1 area, and 4 areas. 4 areas, 1 area, and 4 areas. Over here, you see 8 areas going around 1 area. We're just rearranging these numbers. I can do it here. They also do it on the straight line on your number keyboard, right? Don't forget, on your number keyboard, the first one has a baseball bat. It has a... Information overload. See, I don't remember this. I don't know if I remember it off by heart, but over and over and every single day for 20 years, every single day, the more I see something, the more somebody says something, just the more I can decorticate, which means to take it apart and put it back together and put it somewhere where it exists already in this world. The entire zodiac, every single name. You don't need to tell me whether the stars are real or fake, because just to be using it over and over again, okay, it's part of the system being shared. That's all it is. We are the children of the Creator. We have things that are put into our head. When we come into this world, whether you're good or whether you're evil, it doesn't matter. The contract that is signed in order to get into this game, even as a fallen angel, okay, comes in this fashion. Whoever of those fallen angels they may be, not breathing the air that way we do, they have the humans that breathe the air in this game. Breathing the air, there's a concept. There's a rule in this game. When you breathe the air, when you drink the water, these bodies, even if one person manipulates another, there's certain rules and regulations that have to be followed. If you see a lot of things that don't make sense to you, okay, it's an obligation to keep the rivers running, to keep the electricity moving, to keep the rivers, the banks moving. We store. Where do we store in our computer? Well, in this planet, we store it in a star system. We store it in the zodiac. We store it in the moons. We store it in the planets, our gigabytes, whatever that information. But the way we see it, what we know, the only thing we can look at it, okay, is the energy within the sun and the moon. The exchange of that energy is actually what is the waters, the information network. And on the 28th day in the month, or 29th day, the moon is bright into the sky, and the wolves, they howl. As the wolves, in association Earth with planet Mars, Deimos and Phobos, the wolves, 56 versus the lamb, 28. 2 by 28 is 56. One lamb is 28. We live in the sine wave of 2020. The hockey game is that 2020. There is no center of the period. The center of the period is 29, 2, and 29. That's how you reach the center of the period. Or it's 28, 4, and 28, equaling to the 60 minutes in the game, connecting the second period. But the 29 only happens in the fourth year. The 28 happens in every other year when Valentine's, okay, separates that reality. Valentine's, the 14th day, for the 14 going around this cube, 6, 5, 1, and 2, 2, 4, 3, and 5, 1, 3, 4, and 6, 5, 6, 1, and 2. See, in this, 1 and 2, they're out of the game. 5 and 6, 11 takes its place. They say in the game, it's Yo 11. We come into the E-world of the 9 birth. And what happens is, see this one over here, right? It's the only one that penetrates to the other side and makes extra numbers. It happens on other ones, but this is the biggest one. This is the 7. You see, you covered up 3 here and 3 here. That's 6. When I create that extra dot, when I create the extra dot, this is when you're asleep at night. So we have 6 and 1, 7. And when you're awake in the day, we have 6 and 1, 7. 6 and 1, 7, 6 and 1, 7. In reality, what did we have? Did we have 9 and 9? But we can only use this one here and then this one here. We can't use them both, awake and asleep. So we have 16 hours and 8 hours in one world. In another world, we have 12 and 12 hours. In another world, we're going to have 14 and 10 hours. In another world, we're going to have a different amount of hours, and all these hours are all going to equal to the 24 hours, and they're going to have their reason, right? The 12 and 12 is 50-50, right? They can be worked at. You split the day in half in the morning, you split the day in half in the afternoon, and it's going to be 4 by 6 equals to 24. Or what you're going to do is 3 by 8 equals to 24. We do have to note that 3 and 4 are 0.5 away from the 35 reality of this cube. Do you remember I said in roulette, it pays 35 to 1? 35 just happens to be 1.25 times 28, the cycle in the moon, to equal to 35. Okay, right? And then what you need in order to get to 28, you need 8 by 3.5 to get to 28. The 8 corners, okay, or the core of this cube is 3.5. 3.5, 5 times 5, 5 plus 5, okay, equals to 10, and 25 equals to 35. There are 27 areas over here. 2 and 7 equals to 9. But there are only 26. There are 26 on the outside. 2 and 6 equals to 8. And the 9th one is on the inside, number 27 on the inside. So let me see what's going on here, if anybody said anything. How can I sign a contract? What do you mean by signing a contract? Sorry, baby girl, I didn't understand. I'm not really sure I understand the question. And I'm going to start paying more attention. It's just 50% of the goals completed. Celebrate this live now. 50% alive is da-da-da-da-da. Let me see what else this is. Okay, I don't even know what this means to share the live. What does it mean? Mirror, mute. I don't have time really for the magic that goes on. If somebody wants to run the page, that's fine. So what it is about 5 is very special. But it's just everything about 5. You know, even when I started this, when I had my first revelation, I was 41 years old. 4 and 1 is 5. It happened in the month of was it Gemini yet? No, it wasn't Gemini yet. It was still in Taurus. It was May 5th, so it was still in Taurus. And Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus 2, 6 is Virgo, 10 is Capricorn. I know that's because I just know the way the numbers work. If I didn't know these numbers, I'd never be able to remember. The cycles are perfect. The world is utopia. We're built on a utopian. It's absolutely utopian because it all can be figured out. How we act, how our lives is, forget about that. That's under $1. When you're under $1, forget about it. Okay? We're like the change in your pocket. We're 3/4, 2 dimes, and 4 pennies. We're 3/4, a dime, 2 nickels, and 4 pennies. We always need those 4 pennies. No matter what, with 99 cents, you always need the 4 pennies. So I'm not going to get into the whole calculation. I was talking about the letter R. I was talking that we're in creation in the house of Bait, number 27. The reason I call it the house of Bait, or the red house, is 27 is red. Number 72 is going to be the multiplication of 9 times 8 equals to 72, which is the heavens of birth, 9 and 8. Your coming of the life becomes 6 and 8. You flip the 9 into a 6, it becomes your house planet at the 7th gate. Planet is 68, house is 68. Now there's a difference to understand that when you're in the house, here's your house right over here. Here's your H over here. It's also your M, your mouse and your house. Okay, what happens here is the M goes up, it comes down, goes up and it comes down. It shows a V in between, which is life, because your V in between is your I letter. The I letter goes over here. Your R letter lies down over here, 180 by the I over here. The I has a top to it and a bottom to it, creating the I. And in the I are wings. There's a wing here, a wing here, a wing here, and a wing here. And then there's another wing in the center. These wings over here 4, 5, 6 over to 3, 4, 5, 6 over to 9. Now you created a T. 7, 8, 9, and down here, you connect the 1 and 3, and you create the T or the I, whichever one you want. And you're living in over here on each side of you, 4 and 6, or 6 and 6. When it spins like this, you can either use this number or this number. If you're working from this side, the left side, it's 44. If you're working from the right side, it's 66. If you're going to sleep at night, okay, you are going to leave 2 and 8 open. If you're up during the day, you will leave 4 and 6 open, taking from above and taking from below. Here is you sleeping, here is you awake. When you're awake, the 5 and the 2 will be up there. There's a gateway within it. When you're asleep, you're going to hit the moon, 3 and 4 in this situation. This situation also shows you the letter N, a very prominent piece, okay, with the letter M. M and N. M into the moon, N into the sun, okay? The M will be dividing and connecting, okay, the two sides of the alphabet. Not only that, in Roman numerals, M is 1000, which is either C times X, sex, or it's going to be C times X, or X times X times X. That's pretty funny. X times X times X, right, will equal to 1000. 10, 10, 10, which is the star system that we live in. We live in the 1, 9, 10, 7, 3, 10, 1 and 9, 10, 7 and 3, 10, 4 and 6, 10, equals, 10, 10, 10, equals, and then 5. Then we have the 1 and 9, 10, the 7 and 3, 10, and the 2 and 8, 10. And then what we're going to have the 7 and 3, 10, the 2 and 8, 10, the 4 and 6, 10. And then what we're going to have after that is we're going to have the 2 and 8, 10. Let me see what I'm missing. Let me see this. 197346, 197328, 462873, and now I got to do this one. So this one is, let me see what I'm missing here. I'm missing, just 1 second. I'm missing, I think 3 and 7 and 4 and 6. Did I do that? No. The 1 and 9. Okay, so I'm going to show you what this is. I jump all over the place quite often. Here's what it is. Here's my star. Crisscrossing these is like you would crisscross this here. 10, 10, 10, 30. 10, 10, 10, 30. 10, 10, 10, 30. There are 4 months of 30 days. And then once you get through all these 30s, we went through it through the E5. Each one of these would be 1 E. Inside of these, at the same time, each one of these cross the E. So it would be E, 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 15. They'd all be equal, okay, to 45. And once they're equal to 45, I still didn't use in here 2 and 8. I still didn't use in here 4 and 6. So each one of these, because we're crossing here and counting all the E's, add up 10 more for each. Add up another 40. So we have 30, 60, 90, 120, 15, 15, 15, and 15, 60, 180 within this star. Plus the original star that we have to cross of 40 plus 20 is 60. So what was that equation? We have 60 plus 120. We have 60 plus 120 plus the 40 that we didn't count, and the 40 star plus the 20 extra in the center. Let me see what I get. 180 and 80. I get 260 out of this. I'm hoping you're going to understand what happened with this. What this is each one of these are 30. Crossing these lines over to 7 and 3, 9 and 1, 4 and 6 is 30. There's 4 different ways to do it, and then there's all the ways. This way, this way, this way, and this way. Each one of these will equal to 40, 10 for each one. Because I go over this 4 times, count this for 20. So count this whole thing for 60. Then count this one for 30 plus 15 for the stars. So 45, 45, 45, 45 equals to 180. Count the other one for 60. Now count all the missing parts. Each one of these is also missing 10. We have a total of 260 at the end of that calculation from this star system over here. Should I have 300 because bowling is 300? I don't know, but that's the base. Here's your M1000. Did you know that all the Roman numerals, I'm not going to get into that. So over here is where your lightning comes in. I spoke a little bit earlier, but I jumped off it. Lightning comes from this word over here, light 10, 9. No matter what you do, the multiplication and addition of this number over here will be 10, 9. 1 times 9, 1 plus 9 will equal to 9 and 10. So if you take a look in the first calculation, 10 and 9 equals to 19. 1 plus 9 equals to 10 equals to 1. 21 and 10 equals to 31. 3 and 1 equals to 4. 10 and 24 equals to 34. 3 and 4 equals to 7. In this equation over here, 2 times 8, 2 plus 8 is 10. And 16 equals to 26 equals to 8. In this equation over here, 1 and 9 equals to 10, and 9 equals to 19. And this one equals, and 24 equals to 6 equals to 1. Okay, so in this equation, it equals... Just give me a second. I want to see if the dogs can be out at this hour. Guys, you want to come in? Come on. Come on. Ozzy. Oh. Okay. I still don't know if we finished talking about the R letter. The R letter is used when you're at sleep at night. It goes across the 180-degree plane. With the R letter, because it is the 18th letter, along with the 18th letter is the number 8. It's not going to be like that with all the numbers unless I find reason. 10, 11, 12 all talk specifically of the combinations of 3 letters. The 10 is a combination of 1 and 0. The 11 is a combination of 1 and 1. The 12 is a combination of 1 and 2. And I'm going to stop there because the 13 tells me that it changes its vibe. It adds on a sequence of where it runs from 13 all the way to 19. The French tell me I must switch everything with 17, 18, and 19. The French also tell me that I switch between the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. They are different from the other numbers. Also, I understand that A, B, C, D equals to 10, and it is 100%. So everything that associates with that situation, okay, is going to be all of a situation and will be broken down from within. That A, B, C is going to equal to 6 or 60, where B, C, D is going to equal to 9 or 90, to where your command and create of the Christ, okay, creation or the communication is 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, and it's 23, 23 right now. Beta communication 55. 11, 11. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3, 6 and 5, 11. 11, 11. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 1 and 2 equals to 3. It equals to 3 dash 3. Those two dots, I look at them as the core, where you're going to pin your point over here and then spin it around. You spin it around. When you spin it to this side, see the angle here? And then when you spin it to that side, see the angle here? That's your A letter. Your A letter shows up. Here's your A letter. Here's the left side. Here's the right side. Here's your R and R lying down. If you want to talk about the A letter, it's because it crosses over this medium and it reaches down even lower into the ground. So it shows you above and below. So the pyramid that you see that's above the ground, okay, that's hanging over, because there's an above the ground and there's a below the ground. Also, it's represented by the beaver. If you take a look at the nickel, it's connected to the nickel, which is the E world, which is also noted in the Mayans as a straight line. Remember, straight lines is going to equate right away, it's going to equate to Earth. Unlike where you can create a singular dot for Mars, a straight line is going to connect 2 dots. So the connecting of 2 dots is going to be for 2 moons. A single dot without the line is going to connect to 1 moon. The 1 moon of Earth, the single dot, the 2 moons of Mars, the double dot. Now the double dot plays a role in Earth. The single dot is going to be for Mars, but it's Earth Moon. The double dot, okay, over here where we create the first line, okay, is going to be for Earth. There's this way, and there's this way. The only way to go through here, okay, your first way to go through here is right here. You can't go straight down. If you're going to go straight down, this is the way you have to move in this one over here. But you don't, in between a line, this is the way you move in between lines. But since we have this and this, in which this will turn into the pound, this will turn into the pound, 33. This will be 22. 3 by 3 by 3, 2 by 2 by 2. So one of them is going to be 33 or 333. And the other one, this is upside down here. Sorry about that for me. Do you remember we spoke about the cube at being 3.5? Well, 27 and 8, when we put these two together, is 3.5. 35, the chord of cube. It's also for brother. The word brother is 51 and 35. The word father is 51 and 7. 5 by 7 is 35. Going to connect to the moon. The pole is going to connect to the moon. Or mother, 28, 28-day cycle, and 51. Right? They each have 51. 51 is for Mars. Mars is the holder of our vibration, but it's our vibration within our 9 birth. Between 1 and 5 are 51% and 95%, or 59% and 51%, or 15%, whichever way you want. But when 1 and 5 come together, 2, 3, and 4. is missing. When 5 and 9 come together, 6, 7, 8 is missing. These two come together, right? What is missing? I'm going to show you. The 432 vibration between 1 and 5, you flip it over between the 5 and 9. And you go with this one over here. The 8 is going to represent the queen, the 7 the king, and this the jack. But the jack plays its role here through the moon at 7.5 between 7 and 8. 7 and 8 comes from here. This is where 7 and 8 comes from. There are 9 areas on each one of these. 7 is missing on the 2, 8 is missing on the 1. 7 eyes on the king, 7 for the creation gateway of the cat. And there's 8, the heavens circling the 1. You see the way the 8 is on both, see the way the 8 is on both sides of here. The 7 is in between over here. Now you might ask, why don't I hold the cube this way? We could, then we can have a different discussion. So we are where with this? This is the 33 void on the cube. So yes, the 7 and the 8, right? The 7 and the 8, October is 78. The word 12 is 87. When you add up 1 through 12, it equals to 78. When you multiply it, it becomes 56, and 15 equals to 71. We now have Pisces. We now have Virgo. We now have sperm. We now have, what is that? I'm just trying to think. There's another equation. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will play the role. So T will play the role. Inside of here, the halfway point, it'll be the 5 and the 11. Do you remember what happened on November 11th? Your beta creation inside the mirror world. Remember ABCD? It plays its role right over here. And if you take a look, it's 6 and 2, 8 to 5 and 3, 8 to 4 and 4, 8. So if we want to reverse that, right, we're going to go the... This is what it's going to look like. The 4 and 2, 6, the 3 and 3, 6, the 2 and 4, 6, the 1 and 5, 6, or what it's going to look like is, just give me a second. It's also going to look like this. Since we have 2 and 6, 8, and 5 and 1, 6, we're going to pick up a couple of dice. 2 and 4, 6, 5 and 3, 8. Let me see where we are. 2 and 4, 6. Now let's start here. 5 and 1, 6 and 2. 5 and 1, 6 and 2. So 5 and 1, 6 and 2. 5 and 1. 5 and 1, where am I? Down here. 5 and 1, 6 and 2. We're going to go to stage number 2. 4 and 2, 3 and 5. 4 and 2, 3 and 5. Now 4 and 4. See, we have 4 and 4, 3 and 3. So the story I tell you at 6 and 8 dividing the gate is not a story. It's a real true mathematical equation. And in the game of craps, when you lay down 6 chips, they're going to give you back 7 chips more, and you're going to collect 13 chips. That 7 and that 6 is your connection between Uranus and Saturn, is only because the reason you came into Uranus and Saturn is because of your Mars-Earth creation through the connective moons, which is Luna and Deimos. Your 6 days, your 6th day of arrival, okay, and the day of rest is the connection or the extra point you achieve when you come into this world. They call it the touchdown, the TD, 20 and 4, 4 bringing into the mirror world. That touchdown, that T is 5, 10, 15, 20 to create the letter T. It's the crossing star through the E system. Your 1 and 9, your birth coming into the divided sun system. Your 2 and 8 to the cycle of the house of Bate, 420, Venus, the connecting houses of Venus. Then what you have is your creation of your 7th gate through 6, 8, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then your birth comes in over here. Again, number 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 5, 57, 75. Very special number. Check it out. 5775. Remember that number, right? 7 and 7 is 14. 1 is 4 is 5. We end up with 555. 555, there's 1.25 days left after the 13th moon. When you multiply 48 by 1.25, it equals to 60. How you bring the 48 minutes of basketball into the 60 minutes of football, into the 60 minutes of sports. Unlike hockey, which has the sine wave passing through the second period, because there is no halfway point between the game other than being during the game. So the sine wave, the sun, comes through the second period. And the second period it'll be 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. But if you want to divide the period up, it'll be 30 and 30 minutes. But according to the penalty, it shows we need a separation of at least 2 minutes, which will make it 29 minutes into the hockey game, 2 minutes, and then 29 minutes. Remember number 29, the 29th of February, the beginning of the first cycle of the next 4 years, which is 1/3 of a Chinese zodiac sign, or 48 passings of the Western astrological signs, in which there's interments of everything, where things move further away from your sign and then into your altar signs, because we all have altar signs. I can't discuss it right now. I see it in my work. What goes on is certain sign energies get passed on to other sign energies. It's like this pinball, this whole thing moving around the energies, because everything, like streaming, we're not receiving all the information all at once. It's like it's being passed on here and then here and then here and then here. They can't hold on to all this memory. So at a certain point, they have so much memory they can use, and it lights up the moon. And then at the end of the 28-day cycle, it throws it back on us, and the wolves howl at the moon. They had Thurston Howell the third. The wolves howl at the moon. For the lamb, Luna is 1 moon. Luna has 28 days. Air is 28. Man is 28. 4 by 7 is 28. We run the 7-4-1 cycle. The word wolf is 56. There are 2 moons of Mars, 56. Remember, it's Mars, marriage, ram, bélier, which is the goat. The goat, since it's the first zodiac sign, the letter A splits between 2 sides, as I showed you over here, with the 180-degree plane. You're sleeping with number 18. You're awake with number 9. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6, 18 and 9, living inside the house of Bate, right over here. I'm not the only one. This over here is a tool for a better understanding of how the system works. I'm going to finish off with this just to note the E world of 5 and the passing gate of the G, 5G, G5, the electric moon. The power of the electric moon will reduce into what is time and then time angels of 1776. When we spoke about 7 and 8 is your alpha beta creation, right? And we came up to this over here. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 will equal to this number here, the heavens, okay, and the gateway. You live as 6, but you sleep and you're awake, and you sleep and you're awake. When you're awake, you live under Luna. Now you're at 7. When you're asleep, you have the 2 moons, okay? You still have the sun in your heart. You have the 2 moons of Mars, one on each side, by your head and by your feet. So you're 8 at night asleep, and at your 7th gate, awake during the day. The thing is, if we're going to talk about night and dark and light, did you know that the AM soul outside the E world begins at night in the dark, but it's actually in the AM after midnight? Remember, at midnight, right? Between 11 and 12, it's 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 1 times 1 is 3. It begins at 11 o'clock at night. Then at 12 o'clock at night, it becomes the E world. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. We come into the rib of Eve. Then at 1 o'clock can also be noted as the 13th hour. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is 3 and 4. We now enter into the 7th gate, 16 minutes after 12. Or also noted to be 12, okay, as 720 minutes. Add on the 1 more hour, we now have 780 minutes. We now create the 7 and 8, the passing through the 7th gate between 12 and 1 at 1 o'clock at night. At 1:11 a.m., it becomes the 71st minute. And every 71 increments after that becomes 1:11, 2:22, 3:33. So we have to understand how we need to see where the numbers are and what they're doing. So when we get to the, just let me see what this is, the 3rd hour. The 3rd hour, and I think it's the 36th minute, the 3rd hour equals to 180, and the 36th minute, right, at 3:36 a.m., it's really ironic, at 3:36 a.m., or 336 days, right? 336 days is going to be 12 complete moons. 3, 3, and 6. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 creates 9 and 6, your birth rotation. In 6. That's in Jack. That's in your basic body. They're not talking about 7 or 8. They're not talking about 7 where the singular moon comes in. Or 8, okay, where the 2 moons of Mars or all 3 moons come in. This one here is talking about connecting to our moon over here. When you get to 2160, the diameter of our moon is 2160, becomes 1.5 times the day. We enter into our moon at 3:36 at night. You can even look at this as the day. And now if we want to invert this, we must look at this as the 15th hour and 36 minutes. If we look at this as the 15th hour and 36 minutes, 1 and 5 is 6 and 3 and 6 is 9, we end up in rotation in the sun at the 3:36 in the afternoon instead of 3:36 a.m. The difference between a.m. and p.m. In the a.m., if I understand correctly, it's the alpha, and in the p.m., it's the beta. I have to rethink this thing. 16 is part of day. 16 is a half-life. I'm a little mixed up right now, and I don't like to be wrong, so let me just drop that for a second. What is T-minus counting? Every time you pass through this 5, that's an E. But when you pass through it 3 times in our star system, every time we pass through it, it's 15. That brings me the letter O. So when you're singing, oh, say, can you see? Because you are passing, okay, through the separation, or what is noted to be the heavens, okay, which is now H and O. And you would go O, because you're passing through the, let me see where it is, right over here. The left side and the right side, 147, 369. Between the heart here is 4, 5, and 6. Down the eye section is 2, 5, and 8. Living on the cross, inside the heavens. I and H, that's your 36. That's your house of bait creation. That's your 99. There are only 2 letters. There's only 2 letters. That's your basic creation. It also tells you there's only 2 letters. It's the I and the R. The I and the R. Now there's a few ways to look where the I and the R, I and the I, R, R, I and the R, 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 R. The I and the R are both here. But since it's 9, there's 8 areas around 1. So do we start this as 1 and end at 9? Go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I do that, I count 44. But if I count this at 9 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that becomes 36. That's almost like lighting up the Hanukkah candles, okay, and counting the 36 candles they light plus the 8 days of the Chamas or the Shamas, right? That Shamas candle that they light that Shamas for 8 straight days plus every single candle. The first candle they light on day 1, then the first 2 on day 2, then the first 3 on day 3. So they keep lighting the first candle. You have to add them all up. It equals to 44. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 is 16 and 8. 16 is 1 and 6 is 7. It becomes 7 and 8. And that's your rotation between the heavens and the gateway when you're awake during the day. Forget about the 6. You need the spirit light to come within you. You need the sun to pick up both, the energy to pick up both sides. That A letter, I'm not sure which way I should show the A letter, but the A letter goes to this side and to this side. You live in between the 2 sides of the bricks. Let me see if I have a better picture here. We all know about this. Right? We know about RH blood, RH negative. This goes with this goes with this. One of the reasons, okay, 5 is not the same because they say 15, so it sort of doesn't include the 5. In French, when they say 19, they will separate the usage between the 10 and the 9. They will separate the usage between the 10 and the 8. So you can be going plus or minus. If you go to the minus, it leaves over 1. Now, what it is about 1 is they say the 1 dot is noted, or the 1 point is noted to be the ace. It's also noted to be the 11. That means it can be split. Blackjack splits the ace and can be noted as 11. That when this game, when it's noted as 11, all your picture cards are noted to be 10. You can see over here the moon number, right? The moon number. 2 times the moon equals 432. Our vibration comes from Mars, but our moon diameter is here. Although Mars moons have different numbers, that's irrelevant. We're working with the factuals of what we have on our planet. We don't need the size of the Mars moons. Once I say moon, I look in my sky, I see 1 moon. I base everything off of my moon. Even though I know the 8 for the heavens, okay, or for the money, I only know for my life. I only know for me. So I'm going to count the 6 instead of the 8. The 6 is noted to be hexagon, cat, communication. The 8 is going to be dog leg. It's going to be left. It's going to be baby blue. It's going to be cold. It's going to be democratic, right? The cratic, the demolition. It's going to be 12. It's going to be a wing. It's going to go for number 3. Unlike the right, is going to go for red. It's going to go for reposition. Okay, reposition. And it's going to go for number 18, 3, 6, and 9. It's full formation on the right. When we go to 9 and 19, the 9 is for the birth inside the heavens, right? The heavens, look at that, Reish. 666 or 2 and 9. 2 times 9 or 3 times 6. We're playing between, when we're awake, we're playing between the 2 worlds. We are the awake between the 2 sides. It's ABC. This one is going to go into the sun. This one is going to go into the moon. Into the moon, into the sun. Here is your high birth, your 8 and 9. Your reflection of this is 1 and 2. So if your reflection of this is 1 and 2, it also is going to invert itself to look like 7 and 8 because 9 plays through the 7th gate. It'll be 7 and 8. Your 7 is going to be an introduction to Mars. Mars, Sun, and Moon. These two over here are not like this one over here. The reverse of Mars is going to be 57. It's going to introduce itself to the Moon. It's going to introduce itself to birth. Your vibration is between here, 2, 3, and 4, 9. The difference inside of what's in here is 6, your 9 and 6, your birth into your life rotation between Mars and the Moon. We're supposed to be living in the sun. Our creation is supposed to be in the sun. It seems like somehow we're entrapped right over here. This is also noted to be what is your time, heaven, creation. Where does this time, heaven, creation come in? A, B, C. In French, they tell me to say 19 is 10, 9. How do I not know it's not a minus? Being a child of the creation and being taught only one side of the truth and not both sides of the truth. We need to know all the science. You bake a cake, it tells you the ingredients. But does it tell you, when it tells you the ingredients, why you shouldn't make the oven hotter? Or why you should leave it in for less time or more time? Do you know that reason? Or you just bake the cake and the end result is just a hope of what you get? We need to know the complete science, so I looked through it. I'm going to get a glass of water. I'm going to be back in a minute. I'm going to say hi to everybody. So sorry that I'm not keeping up. I don't know what anybody has said to me. You waved that cool, you waved that cool, you waved that cool, you waved that, okay, you waved. Sorry about that. Let me see. I'm going to just wave at everybody. Hey, Perry Wing, how you doing? I'm just going to try to see. I usually don't keep up. I'm not just trying to look what's going on down here. I've been learning every single day for about 20 years now. I started with absolutely just a vision. I saw something. I had a vision. I thought everything, my life was like, I thought I was gone. I thought I was completely gone. I looked into the sky and I was like, I left my body. It was like, that was it. And it was for a minimum amount of time. And I just kept day after day learning. And people used to say, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? You know, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? And I didn't, first of all, did I have to find an answer to tell people why I was doing something I extremely enjoyed? Why was I infatuated with this so much? Because I kept seeing results. This is not a piece of art. This has nothing to do with art. All I did is follow the rules. They told me to follow the rules, find the simple rules. This comes off the roulette table. Each one of these are different ways to design it. If I would color everything in, you would never know my coordinates of the beginning of my creation. And they taught us when we were really young how to connect our dots and how to do our letters and different shapes. So I went back to that and I implied it on everything because that's what I was taught. I was taught to give more formation, okay, into a straight line, give it life, give it the sun, give it life, right? So don't use all the lines. Even in Scrabble, when you play Scrabble, you don't use all the letters in the game, right? Well, you want to use them and get more letters, but you use what you can use, and there's no two-letter words in Scrabble. Therefore, in my work, there's 2 letters are going to mean something, and 3 letters are going to mean something else, and abbreviations are going to mean something else, and language tells me about person, place, and thing as a noun, and it tells me about the verbs and the adverbs, so I got to treat all these letter combinations as they do in language, and each letter comes in with a numeric value on different levels. If you want to talk about the E on level 1, 5, level 2, 10, level 3, 15, or how about the rebirth of each letter? 5 becomes 14, 1 and 4, 5 becomes 23, 3 and 2, 5 becomes 32, 3 and 2, 5. So which 5 are we talking about? At the same time, each one is a mathematical equation. 3 and 2 is 3 times 2, 3 plus 2 is 6 and 5, 11. 4 is 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals 4 and 5, 9. So your 9, 11 is 32, 23. Sorry, is 41 and 23. It just so happens that your ABCD equals to your 10, which your AD and your BC, which comes into both worlds. This comes into both worlds. Your ABC and your BCD. You can see that your BC in both worlds, meaning 2 times 3, 2 plus 3, 5 and 6 enters into both worlds of AD into your 9 world, where it's 9 and 2 coming together. That's right. From the moons of Mars, you come together and bring your birth into the divided world in the House of Bait. CB codes, Citizen Band Radio, right? You have ham radio and you have ham radio, right? You have that whip antenna. And then you got the bunny rabbit. How's everybody doing tonight? I got 30 messages coming down here. Let me see where we are. How you doing, Cynthia? How are you? Let me see who else is here. How you doing, Stripper 88? 88, Trump. 88, Purple. 88, 62 and 26. 88. 53 and 35, 88, 44 and 44, 88, 17 and 71, 88, right? What is 88? 88 reduces itself into 8. It becomes part of the 7th gate. I mentioned before that 7 and 8 and the 9, your birth, okay? You come from the birth, and then when you are born, you become the 6. When they said in Genesis, or gene synthesis, when they said in gene synthesis, Gene, Gesera, right? It comes from Mars. It is from the moon and the sun into the E world, into the J world. It goes from 10 into 7. 5 times 2, 5 plus 2. Equals to what is 10 and 7, and that is the earth number. 5 cuts everything in half as it builds it up. 2 doubles it up and then cuts it in half. But 2 cuts everything in half at 5. 2 times 5 equals 10 equals to 1. Okay, at the 5 point, it becomes less. But otherwise than that, right, 2 becomes 4. Then 2 becomes 6. Then 2 becomes 8. Then 2, 4, 6, 8. Then when it hits 5, 5 cuts everything in half, and then 2 becomes less than itself. Only when it hits 5, we get 25 years to life. Jack equals to number 25. The 52 weeks in the year. How things become bigger and smaller. 2 connects the weekend, while 6 connects the week to the Saturday, the day of rest, where the 5 and 2 will connect the 5 days of the week to the day of rest with the first day of the next week, which is the Sunday. And then the 4 and 3, 7 is going to connect the Wednesday on one side, to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, to what is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And that's what's going to happen between the 3 7s, 5 2 7, 1 6 7, 3 4 7. What's going on? I'm doing a live. I'm going to be taking a 5-minute break here. If you have any questions.
Don't ask them.
What?
If you have any questions, don't ask them.
No, if they have any questions, take a 5-minute break. I get a little nervous when I have other people in the room. I might come back. I was at 8 people, and then I did. Most of them walked away, but I get my regulars. I get the best people in the world. We're all going to break that code, that God code. Why don't you put in a toaster? You know, the R letter, tell me. What else do we eat?
I don't know.
That's it for now?
No. Let's have a look yet.
What? Okay, let's see where else I am in here. Cynthia's with me, right? Roxanne is here. Let's see who else is here. It says we're just one, but that's not possible. Okay, let's see where else we are in here. We were speaking about number 78. I showed you number 6 and 8. Is that correct? Do you understand what I did with number 6 and 8? Right? 5 and 1, 6. 2 and 6, 8. In this one, the surrounding area is 4. In this one, the surrounding area is 3. When you add up 1 through 5, it equals to 15. Call it the game of pool. When you add up 2 through 6, it equals to 20. Call it the game of darts. Now back to 7 and 8. When 7 and 8 come together in the game of pool, you have 8 solids. And you have 7 stripes. And every single ball has black and white on it. Every single ball has black and white on it. Think about that. So now what we have is when we add up 1 through 5, 15, and 2 through 6, 20, it creates the number 20 and 15. The T letter and the O letter. The O letter is 3 by 5. The T letter is 4 by 5. The 3 by 5 is electric company, and the 4 by 5 is going to be the passage in the sun. We're going to take a break now for 15 minutes. I'm going to close down. I'm going to come back if you're here. Make sure you share this with your friends. If you want to know more, think of some questions. It's not easy on me. I don't want to say this, but it's not easy on me coming here and being the only voice sharing, because I can share so much more. Because the more you ask me, the more I'm going to know. You have to open up the can of beans, and I'm just going to fill in the blanks. Raphael, 7286, in a constellation of Pegasus. Welcome to the house of Bait, the monkey house, the golden house. These fingers, Chai, everything runs on this, the house of Kaba, Saturn star. Peace. See you in 15 to 20 minutes.